loves, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. So boom, look at these braids. Oh my gosh, you can't tell me this ain't cute, honey. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I got my boho braids using no braiding hair. None at all. I just used my real hair and then some human braiding hair. So let's get right into it. So first, my hair is bleached, ta-da! And I am showing you the difference between this color and this color. And then I'm going to show you the color that I end up actually using, which is this one. And so that's the color I was more so going for. And so I decided to bleach and not bleach, I'm so sorry, to dye the rest of my braiding hair like this as well. So in case you didn't know, the braiding hair I am using is from Hot Braids, and you can use my discount code right here, boop. And this is how you know it is completely 100% human hair, is by bleaching it and dyeing it, and that I did. So as you see here, after I'm tripping right now. So basically I am putting the Adore cellophane on the braiding hair. Now you could put some dye on it. Okay, so the reason why I'm putting the cellophane on it is honestly a long story. Basically I had a really bad experience at the salon, and it's just safer for me to use the cellophane compared to dye. I'll just say that much. Okay, if you want to know the full story, feel free to comment down below. Okay. But anyway, so whenever you are dyeing the braiding hair, you saw how I had it in little ponytails earlier. You go ahead and put the dye or cellophane on one side, and then you flip it over and you put it on the other side. And I highly recommend to use like this dye brush that I'm using, because it literally coats every strand of hair. Okay, so you see how I have it in a ponytail? Once I separate it, you see how there's no dye in the middle here? You're about to see. Boom, right? We don't want that. You see how it's still blonde in the middle? Because that rubber band is there. So you're just gonna go ahead and bust it open and go ahead and put the dye or cellophane in the middle of the ponytail. You need to use a lot of dye or cellophane. We want to coat every strand of hair. We don't want any patchiness at all, okay? Unless that's the look you're going for. So that is what's going on here. So now, as you see here, I am literally just massaging the ponytail with the dye, the cellophane, sorry. In my case, the cellophane, but you can use dye and do the same thing. In order to make sure every strand of hair is covered and I don't have to dye it over again, I'm just literally massaging the cellophane all over the hair and just making sure I'm not missing any spots and there's not going to be no patchiness or anything like that. Once you do that, you go ahead and you get a little shower cap. And I would suggest to get a thin plastic shower cap like that and put it in the dryer. And if you don't have a head dryer like how I'm using, you can go ahead and just get a thick grocery bag and put the hair in there and leave the blow dryer on. That's a good old trick I like to do too. And so as you see here, I am wetting my hair and just combing through it. I would put the cellophane on my hair before I comb it out, but I don't want to risk it not coating every strand of hair. I don't want it to turn out patchy. So I'm just combing through my hair and again showing you the cellophane color that I am using. And you don't have to use the hair dye brush whenever you're putting it on your own hair. From my own personal experience, I noticed whenever you try to do the same method with your hands on braiding hair, it turns out a little patchy. But when I do it on my head, it doesn't turn out patchy. So I don't know the science behind that, but yeah. So I'm going ahead and coating all of my hair with the cellophane, and again, just massage it through and make sure that you're putting it through every section and be very generous with the amount of cellophane that you are using. So boom, now that my whole head is completely done and covered in the cellophane, I let it dry for maybe about, I would say a minimum 2 hours, so that you can make sure that the color stays as long as possible. All right. So now that the braiding hair is dried, dyed, and done, I'm going to show you pretty much how I did my hair. So you literally braid it like normal. You braid it like normal, and I didn't use any braiding hair at all. Only the human braiding hair, but that's going to be what's going to stick out. So this is what I did. So after you part it, obviously you comb through it. I put this braiding gel on there. Love this stuff. And yeah, you just start braiding, right? Now, I would say whenever you braid maybe like 3, maybe 4 times, like literally like half an inch of your real hair, you go ahead and get a piece of the human braiding hair and you add it on there, right? So you take one end, you take that end, the top end, and you put it in the middle. I would suggest you put it in the middle. You don't have to, but just put it on one of those 3 sides, right? You can clip it, put it in your mouth, and you just keep braiding. Try to keep braiding as tight as you can so that therefore the human hair doesn't slip. And yeah, you just go ahead and keep braiding. And I would say maybe about like once you braid with the braiding hair, braid about like half an inch, and then you let that human braiding hair piece out and you pull it to the side, and then you just keep braiding along. And you do the whole process all over again. I did about maybe, I want to say 3 to 4 pieces of human hair that's sticking out per braid. But I would say no more than like, obviously I would do like at least 1 strand, right? And as you keep braiding, you make sure you keep adding the braiding gel on your fingers so that the braid can turn out really smooth and cute and neat. And once you braid all the way down to where you see your real hair is about to stop, then I go ahead and add a piece of the human hair. I would say maybe get like 1, no more than 2 of the human braiding hair, and you add it to the end, right? Because we don't want the end to be short or just, not curly and random, right? We don't want it to look out of place. So we're going to go ahead and add the human braiding hair. You go ahead and, as you see here, I'm separating kind of each piece here so it can be even, because whenever you're braiding, I'm pretty sure you notice whenever you're doing the 3-strand kind of braiding, you don't want it to be like, oh, one side is thick and the other 2 strands is thin. We don't want that. We don't want it to look like you added human hair. We want it to look like it's all your hair. Okay. So now that you braid it all the way through, you're going to go ahead and make a little knot with the human hair. So boop, loop it, and you swoop it. And you go ahead and separate it one more time for it to be extra secure. And then you do 1 more knot, right? And no, this isn't going to be too complicated to undo, considering that it's human hair. So whenever you're taking your hair out, you literally just moisturize it and brush it out, okay? With the Unbraider tool. If you don't know, here's my code. Here's the video to that review will be down below as well. So as you see here, I got my spray bottle full of water, and I'm literally just wetting my whole head, and I'm going to detangle it with my hands first. I wouldn't go straight in with the brush right away, because you don't want, your head's going to be tender from these fresh braids. So, I mean, if you got a high pain tolerance and you're not tender-headed, be my guest. But I'm tender-headed. So I'm going to go ahead and detangle it with my hands first. And then once my hair is fully saturated and my hair is pretty much kind of combed through with my hands, then I take a brush and I start from the end up. Okay. And you pretty much just brush it like your hair, like you ain't got braids in your head. And yeah, just do it gently, do it section by section. And it's the easiest protective hairstyle I've ever had. So there you go. Now, whenever I'm ready to grease my scalp, I like to use this, and it's definitely going to give your scalp some extra strength and nutrients after all the hell you just put it through. And boom, look at that. Oh, my hair looks so good. Oh my gosh, it looks so fire. And just wait until it dries. It's still a little damp here. When the on the earlier clip that you guys saw in the beginning of the video, that was it completely dry. And this is it when it's like maybe 50% damp, right? Super pretty. Little Mermaid who? Ariel who? Let me stop playing. I love Holly. But anyway, so yeah, so that is what my hair looks like in the tutorial for doing boho braids with no braiding hair. right? Super cute. And I feel like if you have short hair, this style will be even more fire because you'll have more of the braiding human hair out than the actual braids, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I hope you guys loved it. I hope this was helpful, and make sure you follow me at just_Kamoni, or if you want to see some more of my clothing line, you can also follow it at KAMUB. And yeah, there is definitely going to be more hair tutorials coming up soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.